going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and last night, while I was snoozing away like a little old grandpa going to bed at like 8 o'clock, a new archetype ended up being announced. I don't know what set this is for. I think it's the Legacy of Destruction, the new core set coming out after Phantom Nightmare, and I have zero idea about like the majority of what the deck is. I know it's dragons, I know they have synchros, I think, and apparently they're battle phase focused. I just read something about that, but I don't even know their name or anything like that. I think I know like the general bit of it. I know it starts with like an S, I think, right? But that is literally the only bit of stuff that I know about this archetype. I literally have been having a hard time covering archetypes and new cards that come out because I'm usually in bed by that time because of my new work schedule. But regardless, I remember hearing a bunch of you guys say that you don't really care if it's up like immediately. You just want to see me cover the stuff. And so I'm here to cover the dragon archetype today, even if it is like a day late. But regardless, let's go ahead and go right into this. It says, scorch the skies with Sangen dragons. Is that supposed to say dragons, or is it like actually dragons or something? I hope you got your trident dragons. Is that like a double typo? That's actually a double typo. That's not even supposed to be intentional. That's so funny, what? Anyways, starting off, we have Tenpai Dragon by Dora. It is a level 3 fire dragon with 700 attack and 1000 defense, and some pretty kick-ass Yang Zing-esque artwork. And as you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If it's normal or special summon, you can take one Bright Fleet spell or trap from your deck and either add it to your hand or set it. You take no battle damage from battles involving your fire dragon monsters, and once per turn during the battle phase, you can immediately synchro summon using this card you control. So that's another thing that I knew they were apparently fires, if I didn't already mention that. But it looks like they have archetype with Bright Fleet in the name as opposed to just being... I think Bright Fleet might actually be the archetype, and this is like a subsection or something? I don't know, this doesn't even have like any of that in the name, so that's kind of weird. So other than that, the no battle damage from battles involving your fire monsters, I mean, like, not really a huge deal, but it could be funny in case you, like, make a Zeus with a Fire Xyz dragon. And then the battle phase synchro effect, as we've seen from archetypes like Crystron, that doesn't really do anything if you do stuff during the battle phase. But it's probably not like a super bad thing because it says during the battle phase, not your opponent's battle phase, thank God. So you can like swing with all your synchro materials and then synchro summon using them, and then swing with the synchro monsters. So that can probably help out with OTKs. And I just realized my hair is a nightmare, holy shit. Next up we have Tenpai Dragon Fedora, milady. It is also a level 3 fire dragon with 1600 attack and 1000 defense. You can only use the first effect once per turn. On summon or at the start of the damage step if a monster battles. Oh, that's interesting. You can target one level 4 or lower fire dragon in your grave and special summon it. Your fire dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And once per turn during the battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. So it has the same third effect, and it's really funny because that actually is kind of similar to Yang Zing's, both in the artwork and with the quick synchro effect. The second effect again helps like with the thing that I was mentioning earlier, where you can like do a bunch of battle phase shenanigans like that. But the first effect is what I find really interesting because it says, if this card is no... Oh, wait, no, okay. I'm reading it, like, so wrong. It says, if it's normal or special summon, it has that trigger effect, or it also does it again later. I thought for some reason this card was wanting to be summoned, like, when a monster was swinging. I was so confused, and that would be, like, a ruling nightmare. But no, it's just on summon, or also if this card's, like, still on the field during another turn, if any monster is battling, then you get that effect as well. Okay, I was reading into this way wrong. Okay. So that's actually just pretty standard. I mean, on summon, special summoning a thing from graveyard, really standard for synchro archetypes, let's be real. And their final main deck monster looks to be Tenpai Dragon Zongdora. It is a level 4 fire dragon tuner. Here's their tuner finally, with 1500 attack and 1000 defense, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control a fire dragon, you can special it from your hand. At the start of the damage step, if a monster battles, you can special a level 4 or lower fire dragon from your deck, except Bestowed Dragon Chundra. That is not one of the ones we covered. Okay. And once per turn during the battle phase, you can immediately synchro summon. It's a tuner with a really good level that also extends itself just for free if you control a fire dragon, and then also gets you any fire dragon from deck or 4 or lower fire dragon if any monster battles. So that's really solid because it's not like you have to wait until your main phase 2 to synchro summon. You can just use the effects of your monsters to synchro summon. This actually seems like a really, really good card. The only thing weighing this stuff down so far is that it's a battle phase focused deck. Their first synchro is Sangen, Rise Dragon, Bident Dragon. What, huh? So that says Dragian, that says Dragian. I'm so confused. Is it actually just supposed to say Dragian? I do not know. So it is a level 7 Fire Dragon Tuner Synchro with 2600 attack and 2000 defense. It requires 1 Dragon Tuner and 1 or more non-tuner dragons. You can only use the first effect of its name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per duel. If it's synchro summon, you can target 1 Fire Dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but you're locked into dragon monsters for the rest of the turn. And if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, and then you can non-target destroy a spell or trap on the field. So this is interesting to see another once per duel effect being added to the game. We actually rarely see effects like those, but usually they are pretty powerful, and lately I've noticed they've been tied to like reborn effects for extra deck monsters. Like the Goblin's Crazy Beast also does this. That's kind of funny. But this is a really solid card. I mean, on summon, you're getting another Fire Dragon back from grave, so you can extend into more stuff, such as a level 10 Synchro utilizing the level 3s, because this is already a tuner. And I do like that it encourages people to actually go into the dragon stuff, as opposed to just making Baron with this, because otherwise this would literally just be, oh, I'm gonna make Baron in my archetype, and then that's about it. But I really like that summon condition. It ties in really well with the theme of the archetype of doing stuff in the battle phase. You can quick effect special summon it too, so that means if your opponent's swinging at you as well, you can also special it, and then you can pop a back row, which might trigger some floating for their back row, I'm not sure, but otherwise it's just a like perfectly decent removal effect. Overall, this seems like a really nice card. And their other synchro is Sangen Super Dragon Transcendragion. Is this supposed to say Transcendragon? Because otherwise this is just really garbled. But it is a level 10 Fire Dragon synchro with 3000 attack and defense, requires 1 Dragon Tuner and 1 or more non-tuner dragons, and you can also only use this card's third effect once per duel, so 2 once per duel effects in the same archetype. That's really cool. If it's synchro summon, you can change all monsters in the field to attack position. All opponents' monsters, must attack if able. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. And if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, quick effect, you can special this card from your grave as well, like the last one, but you can destroy any card on the field as opposed to spell or trap. This is a pretty decent card. I mean, you can utilize this going first or going second, so if your opponent forces you to go first when you're blinding second with this deck, you can just sit on this to at least force everything to attack. So that's pretty cool. Oh, unfortunately, it does say only on synchro summon that everything goes into attack position. It's not like a Baguska, which I think would be really cool. Like I said, the second effect, forcing everything to attack, is pretty solid because it forces them to go into the battle phase, meaning you can use all of your Fire Dragon triggers. And also, the not being able to activate cards or effects during the battle phase means that your plays will be going off smoothly. And then the third effect, like I said, I liked it on the last one, but it's even better on this one because you get to pop any card on the field. So that's even more removal for a 3k body to just go for game, or for your opponent to have less things to actually kill this if you're summoning it during their battle phase. Their field spell is Brimming Sangen Manor, and I knew they would have a field spell not just by the artwork, but also because people were saying Ancient Fairy Dragon was good in here, which I agree. If it's a level 7 Synchro Dragon, that works here. But like I said, is a field spell that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Fire Dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects during your main phase 1. Okay. During your main phase, you can add 1 Bestowed Dragon monster from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. And if this card is destroyed during the battle phase, you can target 1 Dragon Synchro you control. Its attack becomes doubled. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the archetype is Bestowed Dragons, because this... It says Bestowed Dragon Chundra. This guy's name is Chundra here. I'm pretty sure these are the Bestowed Dragons, so I'm pretty sure this is just Aurora for any of them. So that's like a really big thing, because I was gonna like talk about that there. So the first effect I think is really good because it actually gives a going second archetype a chance to play a little bit around disruptions, because if they don't negate this, your opponent's going to have a really hard time with all of your fire dragons being towers monsters. The second effect is also really good because you can add something like your Fedora here, which is a reborn, so whatever you discard off of the field spell, you can just reborn off the Fedora to start climbing into your other synchro plays. And then the third effect, like I said, I expected something to be able to float for the Bident Dragon, the Bident Blast Dragon. So that can pop this to trigger its effect and either make this guy 5,200 or make this guy 6,000 if you happen to already have it on field. Really awesome field spell here. I like that it's both like protection, consistency, and helps with like damage on board for a battle phase focused archetype. Not to mention this is searchable off of Ancient Fairy Dragon, so I think that's awesome. The one downside to it is that it has to be destroyed during the battle phase, so you can't pop it off of Ancient Fairy Dragon to get the search and then trigger this effect. So kind of annoying, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. Also, I'm assuming the Sangen stuff is Bright Fleet because we're onto the last back row and I haven't seen Bright Fleet being used yet. So this is Bright Fleet Kaimen or something like that. It is a quick play spell that says you can only activate one per turn. If it was activated outside the battle phase, apply one of these effects, but if it was activated during the battle phase, you can apply any of them in sequence. Add one level 4 or lower Fire Dragon from your deck to your hand, or I should say, special summon one Fire Dragon monster from your hand. This seems simple enough. I mean, it's extra consistency, and it gives you both effects if you use it during the battle phase, which remember, all of your guys let you synchro summon during the battle phase, so you can actually make your plays during the battle phase. It's not like you're going to be getting only one effect 99% of the time, so you're easily going to be getting both of these effects off, and just getting a free body on board, which remember, in a grind game, Fedora can summon something back on summon, and then this, I'm pretty sure you can get the field spell access here, so really nice there as well. I think this really ties it all together nicely. Also, while I'm on EDO looking at stuff, it turns out it actually is Trident Dragian here. Like, it's not a typo, it's literally Dragian. That's insane. So overall, what do I think about the, I guess, is it like Bright Fleet? Is it, like, what's the, Bestowed Dragon archetype? I mean, like, what do we call this deck? It's got like 3 different naming conventions here. I'm just gonna call it Bestowed Dragon. What do I think about the new Bestowed Dragon Fire Dragon Synchro archetype? I think there's something here. Like, they actually managed to give good effects to an archetype that not only wants to blind second, but in the battle phase nonetheless. Is because of effects like the field spell. The field spell, if it gets to like stay on board and not get negated by something like a Baron, I think that you can actually get a lot of plays going off during the main phase 1, such as your searching and everything like that. And then during the battle phase, you can start popping off with your effects there. I especially love being able to synchro during the battle phase and getting advantage off of that instead of just being able to do it randomly. But on their own, they're kind of just alright. But where I really think they shine, though, is, as it mentions here, when you put in Trident Dragon, because Trident Dragon is a level 10 Fire Dragon Synchro with 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense. That requires one Dragon type tuner and one or more non-tuner dragons. It must be Synchro Summon, cannot be special summoned by other ways, but when it's Synchro Summon, you can target up to 2 other cards you control and destroy them, and for each destroyed card, it gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase this turn. Remember, the field spell doubles the attack of a synchro monster, not even just like until the end of the turn, just permanently. So you're going to be making this guy 6,000, bare minimum getting 1 extra attack, which is already game because it's 12,000 damage. But if you can pop another card, that's literally 1,800 or 18,000 damage that you're doing off of just the Trident Dragon. And I'm pretty sure you can get that off of just the Bidora and like any other card in hand for the discard off the field spell. I think that's kind of nuts. I definitely think it feels a little bit incomplete. It'd be better if they got like some more main deck monsters and backer support, especially like a trap card would be nice, or any form of disruption in case they are forced to go first. But other than that, I think this is really cool right now. I don't know, maybe that's just my bias though, because I am a really big fan of like Unga Boonga OTK decks. I played Fluffle in its purest form years and years ago as one of the first decks that I got into competitive with, and it was the first deck I ever built personally, and so I really love just doing a raw damage. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll split this video and the channel into your recommended. And if this content was really like it, like the rest of my review series. Again, they are going to be a little late from now on, but I think that it's still fine for those of you that actually just like watching the content as opposed to like learning the new stuff like constantly. But then perhaps consider subscribing and turning on notifications, because it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also, if you want to support me directly while getting some awesome TCG merchandise in the process, check out Tapio cards in the link down below. Use code Aurora5 for 5% off your purchase at checkout and support me financially. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.